All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Ask an Expert. I'm Megan, and I'm the marketing coordinator here at Bright Stores, and with me today is Akhil.
Hello.
And he is on our support team. You've probably talked to him if you've called in before. But last week we went over our account balances. So we figured a really good follow-up episode this week would be on budgets. So that's going to be our topic today and kind of what we're going to go over. So we have a couple questions that we already have set up that we'll kind of go through. But if you happen to have questions during the live episode, go ahead and just leave us a comment and we'll try to get to it. So with that, we'll go ahead. So Akhil, can you give us a quick overview of what a budget is?
Absolutely. A budget allows you to set up a spending control on the store. This limits shoppers placing orders to not going over that balance that you determine. Now, of course, the main difference is shoppers are actually still using a custom payment method or another payment method on the store to check out. This is only to track the spending made against an actual budget that they have configured.
Okay, cool, perfect. And what are some of the most common reasons that you find distributors using this in their stores?
One good example is if you have, let's say you have multiple groups of users. Commonly we have clients who set up multiple groups as branches, for example. These branches are in different states, but your client wants those branches to deduct their purchases from the same budget. You could do this with the budgets feature, and then that way spending is controlled between all those budgets in the separate states. Or we see this a lot used for various marketing events and trade shows. This is so that you could set up, for example, let's say Trade Show 2018. Then all the shoppers who have access to the Trade Show 2018 budget would select that at checkout, and then all their orders would be recorded against it.
Okay, perfect. So it's a really easy way to track from who's pulling from the budget.
Absolutely.
Going back to some of your examples. So with the multiple branches. Let's say I'm in the Denver branch, and I know we have a branch in New York. And before I go and start kind of looking to what I want to order, I want to see how much is left in that budget. Is there an easy way to check that?
Absolutely. So for the storefront user, all they would need to do is log in through their storefront access, and then once logged in, they just go to their account dashboard, which is just, selecting the username. From there, there's an actual budgets tab that the shopper can go into, select, and then see the remaining balance for any of the budgets they have configured. And let's say you as a store admin get the question, you can actually log into the admin area for your store, go to the budgets tab, and then look and see the budget that you have configured for that user and see that remaining balance.
Okay, cool, super slick. And then kind of on the opposite end, let's say that I am getting ready for a trade show and I'm looking through all this cool promotional products that I can sell, and I find one I really love and I think it's going to be perfect, but I know it's going to put me over budget. Am I allowed to go over budget?
Yes and no. It actually all depends on how the budget bucket is configured.
Okay.
So if you configure it to allow negative, which is a checkbox at each budget level, the shopper is able to place an order which allows them to go over budget. Otherwise, if the allow negative checkbox isn't checked, then they would not be able to place the order, and the budget would actually appear in red at checkout.
Okay, perfect. So if I have that box checked, then it will let me go over, otherwise it won't.
Yeah.
So good safeguard in there. Anything else that you'd like to kind of add into this topic?
One last thing that I know a lot of our clients use, at least by itself, is the MOAS functionality. You can actually use this in conjunction with budgets so that a manager is notified when an order is placed against a budget. One good example that we see this used a lot for is if you want managers to be notified when a user goes over budget. Essentially, let's say you have a budget that is $1,000, and then you would set the MOAS activation amount to be $1,000. You check the box for allow negative, and then that way, if the shopper is placing an order that goes over the budget balance, the email address set up for the MOAS approver is notified to approve or deny that order.
Awesome. So that's a really good kind of what do they call it? A CYA for managers. If you know that people are going to, you check that box that allows people to go negative, but you want to see when that happens. So this way you can be notified as soon as anyone does go over budget.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
awesome, cool, very slick. So that is all for today. But if you have any questions or any topics that you're interested in learning more about, just go ahead and leave that in the comment box below, and we'll follow up with you directly. Otherwise, please stay tuned. Next week to our episode, we are going to go over the differences between account balances and budgets, so it should be a good topic. But anyway, thank you for joining, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.